record. There we go. All right. Okay, let me just get myself here.
Okie dokie.
And
And
let's go. There we go. Okay. Now, Izzy, thank you very much for agreeing to chat to me.
always a pleasure.
And for your time and all of that. We're now not drinking wine this afternoon.
No,
because,
we're doing the coffee thing.
Yes, we.
Unfortunately, it's too early in the day.
It's too early in the day, and I have to drive, and it's Monday.
That's true. My friend always says, I'm sure it's late enough somewhere in the world. Maybe we can still sneak in a glass of wine.
Now, tell us a little bit about your background.
Okay.
You're a medical professional, but also from your fitness and that sort of background, so that our viewers
Audience can understand. So, basically, I was one of those mad kids that loved sport. So, I used to swim in the morning, go to school, go to gymnastics, athletics, tennis, and home. So, that
Okay.
was who I was.
Yes.
I was sport mad. And then later on, in I think grade 10,
Yeah.
they started talking about hockey, and I've never done a team sport.
Yes.
So I started doing that. And then you go to university, and I started to play squash and hockey for the university. And then I graduated honours in nursing, and then came up to Pretoria to take my first official job. And during that period, I went to play squash at a gym, and I got involved there. Somebody that was doing very heavy bench press, he's spotted and pitch up. And as I walked past, he says, "Don't you want to just spot me? I'm sure I'm not going to get this last one out." And the way I took the weight from him, he said to me, "Yes, but you're very strong. Have you ever done weights?" And then, no, never. I'm athletic, but I've never done weights. Anyway, so that started a whole journey. He put weights down on the floor, and he said, "Just pick it up." And what I picked up, it's called a deadlift. I'd never heard about deadlifts before. So what I picked up was what ladies at that point in time, South Africa got Springbok colours for. Now, you know, any person that's athletic,
Yes.
if you can get Springbok colours,
That's like
the ultimate.
Yeah.
So I got involved in that and did extremely well very quickly, because I was very strong, obviously,
But
with all the sports.
Don't you still hold a record, or didn't you hold?
Yes, a world record, yes.
Okay.
World record in deadlifts, 225 kilos.
Wow.
So it was, yeah, it was a weird time of my life, I must say. And then I met my husband, and he said to me, "Yeah, but your symmetry is very good for bodybuilding, and I think you can get Springbok colours in bodybuilding." So then, again, you know, second Springbok colour, fantastic. So then I competed in bodybuilding, went overseas, came second overseas, and that is where the weight loss passion started. Because after, during university, basically, I picked up quite a lot of weight because I went to res, and at home my mom cooked very healthily, but there you could eat whatever you want,
And it's normally not the healthiest.
no, and you eat much more.
Yes.
Because it's there.
Yeah.
And I really struggled to get my weight down and keep it down. And then I helped out multiple sclerosis patients, and one of my patients kept on saying, "When she used to be fat." And I said, "What do you mean when you used to be fat?" And she went to fetch a picture, and she said, "Izzy, I used to weigh over 200 pounds. And when I saw her, she was about 60 kilos. I said, "So how did you lose your weight?" And she said, "My grandmother said, I will pay for you to go on Slender Wonder because you're never going to get a husband." I never heard of Slender Wonder at all. So I started to investigate, and Slender Wonder for me today is still the gold standard, because it teaches you how to eat properly.
And that is the key. I mean, you can go and you can do Slender Wonder, you can do any GLP-1 injections, but if you're not eating properly and actually training, you
have to do a lifestyle change.
Yes.
You have to. So that literally, I always said, when I did that, I lost all my weight that I needed to, and I've never picked it up, and I'm talking about 23 years ago. I always said to my husband, one day I want to run a slimming clinic, because I know I've done it all. There wasn't a diet in the world that I didn't try. I tried it all, and I was athletic, so I even did the training bit, but I just didn't manage to get my weight down. And through how to eat, what to eat, when to eat, that changed my life.
But that is so important, because people don't actually know the when to eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that is a really, really important thing.
Incredible. So it opened my eyes, and I've spent my life in pharmaceuticals. So I got the medical background, the pharmaceutical background, and then my husband said to me, you realize you're now on retirement age. If you still want to do your slimming clinic, maybe you should start thinking about it. Yeah, and I spoke to quite a few doctors, and Dr. Sonia Lubella and I decided, okay, we will do it. She said, okay, I'll cover you with all the scripts and that, as long as you do the monitoring of the patients.
Yes.
And that's how, about 5 years ago, we started the slimming clinic, and it's so successful. And that gives me the kicks. I think you and I have spoken about it. It's people are different, and that's a key message to all your listeners today. There is not one product that works for everybody. There isn't a drug on the market that works for everybody.
No.
We are very different, genetically different. Your genetic profile will predetermine whether something will work for you or not. There's like 7 different classes of anti-inflammatories on the market. Why? Because not one works for everybody. So it's a very important message. I have patients coming in and say to me, oh, Izzy, I want you to put me on Mounjaro. Mounjaro doesn't work for everybody. I want to be on Ozempic. Ozempic doesn't work for everybody. Wegovy doesn't work for anybody. Saxenda doesn't work for anybody. So it's a question of tailor making a program per patient.
But now, what is the difference between, because I know that we spoke about it briefly, about the molecules in the different
GLPs.
Yes. So what's the difference between the, say, Wegovy, Mounjaro, and Ozempic, which are like the 3 big ones?
Big ones, yeah. So Ozempic was they actually brought out Saxenda first.
Okay.
Liraglutide, and that was a daily injection.
Okay.
Now, if you think about the class of GLPs, it's all glucose-like peptides. And it is almost what I explained to you earlier about the anti-inflammatories. They are different, they're all NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, but the actual molecule is slightly different.
Okay.
Now, this is exactly the same. The actual molecule is slightly different. And there's new ones already on the market. The whole world wants to go on GLPs. And why?
That's the new catchphrase.
That is. But it was a breakthrough. And it's a dream breakthrough for people who has never been able to stop eating.
Yes.
Because it does work. It's the one thing that they're fantastic at. Goes to that brain center where it tells you, you're full, you don't want to eat. You look at food and you think, don't feel like it. You can testify to
Yes, because I was one of those people that food, I would like think to myself, now this is now beforehand, we're going on holiday, oh my goodness me, now all this food that's going to be around me, what am I going to do? And but I want to eat it, and now it's like my relationship with food has changed
completely. Yeah, but I'm going back to it. So genetically, what we do in our clinic is a bit different from other people. I do a test dose for a patient with one of the molecules to first see does it work or not. And then you start with a low dose, obviously, because you have no idea how the patient will react. Because what works for one patient doesn't work for another. So we start with a low dose. Patient give me feedback. They come in. Monitoring is extremely important. And really, if there's one message that goes away today is 2 things with GLPs. Whenever you eat less or on a calorie constricted diet, muscle mass breaks down easier than fat. So with all the GLPs, you have to get yourself to somebody that can monitor your in-body analysis, because muscle weigh more than fat. Fat takes space but doesn't weigh so much. Muscle don't take space but use calories that you eat every day. And if you lose muscle mass, you're going to be lighter on the scale, but you're going to be fatter. Because what was broken down was the biggest portion of your weight mass was your muscle mass. So with any of the GLPs, you have to make sure that you go to gym and you do weight training. You cannot run yourself thin. Aerobic exercise, as soon as you're on a calorie deficit and your body needs calories, it's going to break down muscle. So a weight training exercise program is crucial for anybody that wants to lose weight. Your muscle mass equates to your metabolism. So we breathe about 22 times a minute. If you have strong core muscles, your body uses much more energy than what a patient with a low muscle mass in their core. So any muscle mass, your big muscles that you use every day, lots of times, legs, glutes, back, and tummy, crucial. If I put the patients on the in-body composition scale, most women, our upper bodies are great because we pick up everything, your handbag, your laptop, everything. But your little bicep doesn't use much energy. So unfortunately, you have to hit the weights. You have to. And first thing is, oh, no, but I don't want to be big. You'll never be big. Muscle don't take space. Fat takes space. So and muscle way more.
That is the misconception. Is that people say, oh no, I don't want to do weight training because I'm going to bulk up and be big.
No. So muscle mass, way more, but you're going to be lean and mean. They always think, oh, I don't want to look like a bodybuilder. You'll never look like a bodybuilder. Those people train like 6 hours a day, and believe me, they eat themselves into a standstill and they take lots of drugs. That's well known. I'm not sharing inside information. They want to bulk up. As normal human beings, you will never be big if you do weight training. Your body will be toned, but you're not going to bulk up. It's impossible because muscle don't take space. As a bodybuilder, if you see pictures, I was huge, looked huge, but I was a size 6. But what you could see was definition. So it looks bulky, but centimeter-wise, you're tiny. So it's a big misconception, huge misconception.
And that